Okay, we're back. Thanks for joining me again. So I've got all the carpet out, which was a pain in the ass to wrestle out, and inside vacuumed. Everything, pretty much everything that can come out, aside from the pillars. I didn't take those out for this because I really don't need to. So what I'm going to be doing right now is new weather stripping for the doors. This stuff is completely chewed up, pretty much gone on the bottom. So we're gonna pull it out and put the new stuff in. So first, get those wires back in there, and you're gonna start by grabbing them in and pulling. That simple. That simple. That stuff comes out really, really easily. I'm just gonna grab a paper towel and kind of wipe this stuff out a little bit. A bunch of junk came down with it. Careful with this sheet metal. There are some really sharp burrs on here. Don't slice your finger open. That would suck. Okay, I'll vacuum the rest of that out later. So here's the weather stripping. Now this might be left over. That might actually be left over from hatch. Well, maybe not. Either way. Nope, that wasn't left over from the hatch. Never mind. So, what you're gonna do is take the clippy end of this and just set it somewhere. I'm actually gonna put this kind of at the bottom over on this side, so it's not quite as noticeable when you open up the door, but you don't want this stuff up at the top, or you don't want the seam up at the top or on one of the sides, because when water drips down, the whole point is to keep stuff out of the car. And if the seam is at the top or on one of the sides, the stuff drips down, it'll drip right into it. You can actually run into rust issues that way and other things, so you want to be careful about that. So you just basically, this is really simple, guys. You just push this stuff into place. There's no rocket surgery to it. Don't stretch it. In fact, if anything, you'd rather have it a little bit loose. Not loose, but just not pulled tight. These corners are a little hard. There we go. And as you're going, just make sure that that it's pushed in all the way. And then when I get to the pillar here, I'm just gonna hold it back a little bit. And there we have it. Now, once it's all pushed into place, this is the part where you gotta be a little more mindful. So what you want to do, I don't know if you can see that real well, you don't want to cut it completely flush with this, because what's going to happen is it's going to end up separating, and then you're going to have a gap there. So what you want to do is you leave about an inch and cut it there. This is a little difficult because I want the seam right here. So where'd my razor blade go? Oh, here's one. So you're just going to take and cut it. Try and cut it straight down. Get it as straight as you can. Well, that's not going to want to go. Now the spot where it gets difficult, I'm going to pull this back a little bit now that I have it marked. The spot where it gets difficult is this right here, because that's all metal. So hopefully, I doubt the scissors are going to want to cut that. No. So I'm just going to take some snips, just kind of cut it away, and you got to be kind of careful because you're gonna pinch this stuff a little bit. And the other reason that you cut a little bit of extra out of here too is that way if you do have something exposed, then you can kind of file it back and no worries. So yeah, once you get that metal piece out of there, you're good to go. So then I'm gonna take this and stuff it back on in here. And then what I'm going to do is pull this side, this long side up, all the way up, and get this really secure in there. And then I'm going to put this side in and kind of jam it into it and just kind of work this down. You're going to have some extra. It's exactly what you want. You want to push it. You want it to be pushed into the other side. So that's it right there. Piece of cake. It doesn't take that much time. Honestly, that little metal bit, just cut it out with some snips and you're good to go. That's one of the easiest things. This corner up here looks a little funky. Once it gets used to the door hitting it and everything, it'll do its thing. If you have a heat gun or whatever, you heat it up a little bit and shape it how you want. Don't go too crazy. You don't want to mess it up, but other than that, it's a piece of cake. Here, let's look at it. Okay, so that is the new weather stripping on the door. That's the corner I was talking about. They don't want to, that corner's real tight, so it's going to want to fold up, but that'll work itself out. No big deal. All the way around. And there's my seam right there. So you can see it, but I didn't want it to be along the most visible part of the door opening. And as you can see, even cutting off that extra inch or so and then letting this part sit up and then jamming it into the other side, it's perfectly straight. There's no waves, no bundles, no nothing. It looks good. Okay, so I didn't like how I ended the weather stripping video. So this is the new ending for it. Congratulations to everybody. I don't know why congratulations, but whatever. Yeah, so it's pretty easy. It honestly takes more time to set up the camera, to get a decent angle and show you guys everything that needs to be done than it does to actually install it. Just a few minutes, really. One thing you do want to remember with it is you've got all your interior panels that kind of wrap around it. So you got to loosen all that stuff and pull it back. I already had the majority of it out of the car to begin with, so you know, I didn't really think to mention that at the time, but yeah, you've got your pillars, your kick panels, your side panels, whether they be hatch or coupe or whatever, and then you've got your top rail that goes between the pillar and the back panels, and then of course the plate down at the bottom. Once you get all those loosened up, get everything just slightly moved out of the way, you can pull that weather stripping right out, pop the new stuff back in, and you are good to go. So that's it. Easy as pie. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.